Hi everyone, this is Maria Palazian from London Contemporary School of Piano. Today's tutorial is connecting chords together. If you like today's tutorial and if you want to have the sheet music, please visit our website, Contemporary School of Piano, and get in touch with us. And also you can check other tutorials and lessons. First of all, let's have a look at the chords that we're going to connect together. C major, B flat, F, C, C, E flat, F, then C, C, A flat, B flat, then C, C, D flat, E flat, then C, C, G minor, E flat, then B flat, C minor, F minor, B flat, E flat, and another E flat. Now, these chords, we're going to play them in arpeggios, but we're going to start with the top note, like this. We're going to play 3 arpeggios, and then we're going to do the connection. Let me show you the connections first of all. So this is what we're going to do. Because the arpeggios are 3 notes, we're going to connect the chords by 3 notes. So this is what we can do. We can do passing notes up or down, or we can use neighboring notes up and down, or we can do chromatic up or chromatic down. The aim here is that we will connect the top note of the previous chord to the top note of the next chord. For example, if the top note of the next chord is A, we should land on either G or B. Let's start with the first 2 chords, C and B flat. That's C, and this is B flat. Look, this is the top note of C, and this is the top note of B flat. Look how far they are. So let's have a look and let's search for another B flat that's closer to the C. If we use this B flat, see how close it is. So now, what can we use here? Which connection can we use here? In these 2 chords, between these 2 chords, we can use actually 3 connections. Either we do passing down, or neighboring down, or neighboring up. Because the top note is F, we can either land on E or on G. So I'm going to just write here the 3 options: passing down, neighboring up, and neighboring down. And it's up to you to choose whatever you want. But I'm going to choose passing down. So I'll do 3 arpeggios, and then I use the connection. Then start the next chord. Let's connect B flat to F. If I take this F, again, F to C, that's more than 3 notes. So I need to find a chord that's closer to the B flat. If we look at this F, look, if I do 3 notes down, passing down, I can easily play the F major chord here. So I'm just going to write here, passing down again. That's between B flat and F. Let me do B flat and F. 3 arpeggios, passing down to F. Now we're going to connect F to C major. That's F. Again, if we take C major, the top note will be G. That's again more than 3 notes. What about we use this C? That works. We can do passing down again. And we can play the C major. Let me connect F and C again. 2, 3, then passing down, and I can play the C. The last chords of the rows, we're going to repeat them 4 times. Let me play the first row one more time so that you can hear how it sounds. Before we move to the second line, I'd like to say something. If you want to move back to this position, what you can do here is you can just play the arpeggio once down here and then do 3 arpeggios up here, or you can do them 2 by 2, 2 here and 2 up here, or 3 down here and then move up here. Let's have a look at the second line. That's C. And our next chord is E flat. Look, we're going to reach to B flat. So we're going to use chromatic up to play the E flat chord. So I'm going to write. Then we're going to connect E flat to F. That's the F. Look, B flat and F. I can either stay here on the B flat, because that's next to the C, and do neighboring notes, either down or up, or I can do passing up and then do the F major chord. It's up to you what you want to choose. Passing up, neighboring down, neighboring up. Then we did this example in the previous row, F to C. It was passing down, and we play the last chord of this line 4 times. Let me write that as well. Third line, that's C major. The next chord is A flat. That's A flat. The top note is E flat. G to E flat, it's again more than 3 notes. So I need to look at the chord that's closer to me. So here, I either do passing down, or I can do chromatic down and then play the A flat. So it's either passing down or chromatic down. And then let's connect A flat to B flat. So the top note of B flat is F. So similar to the previous example, we can keep the E flat here and do neighboring down or neighboring up, or we can go passing up and then play the B flat. Let me write these. Passing up, neighboring down, neighboring up. That's the B flat. Then, look, the next chord is C major. We're next to the G anyway. We can do neighboring down or up, or passing up. It's up to us. Then play the C major chord. See, we have more than 1 or 2 options here. So it's passing up, neighboring down, or neighboring up. Let's have a look at the fourth line. The next chord is D flat, so the top note is A flat. So we're anyway next to it. We can do neighboring down. I prefer if we stay only neighboring down here. It sounds better. And then we can play the D flat chord. The next chord is E flat, so the top note is B flat. Also here we can stay on the A flat and do neighboring down. Then play the E flat. Now the connection from E flat to C major will be the opposite from C to E flat. From C to E flat we did chromatic up. Here we're going to do chromatic down. And then play the C major. Let me write it. Chromatic down. Now, fifth line. next chord is G minor. If we take this G minor, it's again more than 3 notes. So if we take this G minor, look, I can do 3 notes down, passing down, and then play the G minor. So this is passing down. Now, this E flat is too far, so we're going to look at this E flat. So here, I can do either 3 notes down, or I can go chromatic and then play the E flat. So here is either passing down or chromatic down. Then I play the E flat. And then the B flat up here, that's also more than 3 notes. So I'm gonna check and see other B flat. This one is close to me. I can do passing down, 1, 2, 3, and then play the B flat. That's passing down. Now, the last line, we're gonna think about scales as well here, once we connect these chords. So, that's C minor. To go to the F minor up here, we're not gonna go just any 3 notes. We're gonna think about the F minor scale when we go up. So we're gonna play G, A flat, B flat, and then play the F. So for the last line, we're gonna think about the scales of the chords actually. So that's F minor. To connect F minor to B flat, we're gonna think about B flat. So we're gonna go up, C, D, E flat, and then play the F. So we're gonna flatten the E here, because in B flat we have E. The same thing we're gonna do to go from B flat to E flat. We're gonna think about E flat major, where we have the A flat there, and play the chord. What I'd like to do with the last chord is I'd like to do the arpeggios, I'd like to go them down, and then at the end, because we have slash chord there, where we play a different note, I'd like to play them together like this, to create an ending. Now, what we can do with the left hand? With the left hand, we can just hold still either single note bass or an octave bass. Let me play the whole thing and you can hear how it sounds. If you like today's tutorial and if you want to have the sheet music, please visit our website, Contemporary School of Piano, and get in touch with us. And also you can check other tutorials and lessons, and see you at the next video.